right, everybody, we can get started with Coach Van Gundy. Jen Haley can go first, and Graf, you can go after Jen.
Good afternoon, Coach. Curious as you try to get back to the way the defense was at the beginning of this season, do you go into tonight emphasizing a few fundamental things that you want them focusing on, or do you open up everything?
Well, I mean, you're going to need to do. You're going to be able to have to be able to defend whatever it is the Pistons do. I mean, we've really focused the last 2 days on just trying to really clean up our pick and roll defense, make a couple minor adjustments, and really just clean it up. And then we just need better activity, particularly off the ball. I don't think we've been active enough. I don't think we've anticipated plays well enough. I don't think we've closed out hard enough. We haven't made multiple efforts. We made some progress in those 4 games, I think, at home, and we've come back out on the road and not been as good.
And I know the sample size is very small, but Dennis Smith Jr., a new addition for the Pistons, do you look at old film scouting him, or is it a thing like he is getting back into basketball shape through playing games? Do you simply learn about him through playing the game tonight?
Well, no, I think we know who he is. I mean, we've all played against Dennis Smith. We've all seen him play. We all know who he is. So, I mean, it's not like he's a new guy we don't know anything about.
Coach, I don't want to get too deep here on a pregame hit, but the three-point shot this year, more often than not in today's NBA, is determining whether teams win or lose. In your opinion, is that helping or hurting the game?
Well, I don't know, and that's not really what you think about when you're coaching. But we talked this morning, not as a team, but as a coaching staff, and obviously we're giving up the most three-point attempts and the most three-point makes in the league, and we're in the bottom few teams defensively in the league, so it's something we've got to clean up. But the thing we looked at is the 2 teams in the league who are giving up almost as much as we are, I mean, within 1 3 made and within 1 attempt of 3, are Charlotte and Miami. And Charlotte is doing that, ranked 16th in the league defensively, so middle of the pack, and Miami's 8th in the league defensively. So as much as it's certainly the worst part of our defense, and as much as our focus is on trying to be a little bit better there, it's certainly not the only thing defensively, because other teams are finding ways to be decent or even good defensively, giving up a lot of threes. So while the three-point shot has been, a bigger and bigger factor every year, it's still not the only factor, and there are still teams who play good defense giving up a lot of three-point attempts.
Going back to the Pistons, Jerami Grant was a pretty good player when he was in Denver, but he's really elevated his game to even better heights here in Detroit. How has he improved?
Well, like with most guys who make a jump, he's shooting the ball really, really well. So 38% on threes and around 88% at the free throw line. So, we talked about that with Brandon a year ago when he was the most improved player. I mean, your shooting improves, and that also opens up other things. But the big thing with whether it was Brandon a year ago or Jerami Grant this year is opportunity. I mean, Jerami Grant's getting the ball a lot more, getting far more opportunities to attack and score. He's never before been anything near the number 1 option on a team, and he's taken advantage of the opportunity.
Hey Stan, Christian Clark here. I saw this afternoon that Josh and Nikhil were upgraded to probable. Do you know their status of this game, and if they're able to go, will they be full goes?
As far as I know, yeah, we're not expecting any problems.
Yeah, and the past few games, Steven has been right around 20 minutes or so. I know he missed the game a while back with the calf. Is it an issue where he's kind of still fighting through that, or was it more kind of just matchup based?
Well, what's happened in both games is we've gotten behind, and so we've gone small more than we normally do. And so, Zion's played minutes at the 5, particularly in fourth quarters of both games. And so that's limited Steven's minutes. That's been the main part of it.
Hey Stan, Mickey York, it's good to see you. I hope you and your family are well. Look, there were some good signs here and some tough times. I'm just wondering what your feelings are as you come back for the first time.
Yeah, well, I've been back because I've got two kids in the area. So I've got, my son lives in Royal Oak. My daughter works at the University of Michigan. She's in Ann Arbor. So we've been back several times. We didn't sell our house in Clarkston until last summer. So we were up here last summer closing that up. So we've been back. Look, I'll tell anybody, I mean, just in general, like, we loved Detroit. Loved the time living here. Great, great people. Great place to live, especially in the summer. So big fans of the area, and look, you know, I mean, regrets from my end that we didn't win enough games and didn't get the job done that, you know, we were hired to do. So, you know, you feel bad about that, because not only loving the area, but, you know, I had great respect for our ownership group, for Tom and Mark Barnhill and, you know, Bob Wentworth, Phil Norman, the guys that were there when I was there. And, you know, you want to do a great job for them. And I love the fans in Detroit, you know, and I realize most of them don't like me, but I love the fans in Detroit, and, you know, wanted to do everything I could for them. So, yeah, there's some feelings of regret that we didn't get it done, but I love the area. I love the people here, and we had a good 4 years living here, particularly in the summers. It's a little nicer in the summers here than it is in February, Mickey, which I'm sure you're aware of. So,
Yeah.
you know, but a great city. As people were asking me today, you know, people on our staff and stuff, how'd you like living here? Absolutely loved it. Loved the people. Wish it could have gone better. Wish it would have ended on a better note. But you know, good feelings for everybody here.
Well, thanks for that, Stan, and stay well.
Hey Stan, welcome back to Detroit. Good to see you. Kind of on that note, the Pistons, you know, retooling is what they like to call it. What's the number one thing that from your perspective that they're doing that kind of jumps off the page as they try to rebuild it here?
Well, they're doing it, you know, which I understand. Like, you know, what they're putting a lot of veterans out there. I mean, you know, I was actually surprised for a retooling team when you look at how old they are. I mean, you know, in their normal starting lineup with Plumlee and Blake Griffin and, you know, Wayne Ellington, and I mean, they're old. And so what they've done with that is, you know, they've put their young guys in a situation where they're playing with smart, tough veteran guys, which I think helps the development of young players. So I think it's been smart. You know, they were criticized for the Jerami Grant deal, and he's living up to everything that he's done. And I like the draft picks that they've made. I mean, you know, I think Stewart and Bay have both been really, really good. Damboya from a year ago. Look, I mean, they've done a good job, and they're mixing their veterans with young guys. They've played well, and then, you know, they've got a great coach leading them. Dwayne's one of the best in the business, and so the players will develop under him just like the players in Toronto did.
Thanks, and don't diss the 12-degree weather, man. We love it up here.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was looking out at, because I was a Tigers season ticket holder. My hotel looked out on the my hotel room looked out on the field today, and I said, yeah, a little cold for baseball still. So, but my son's still, you know, big Tigers fan. Liked the article the other day, ESPN, that they got the third best farm system in baseball. So still following that, and you know, again, I mean, some good feelings here in Detroit, and still rooting for the city itself to continue the comeback and have it spread to more people out here. My wife and I are still involved, you know, in contributing to political candidates here in Michigan, because we care a great deal about the state, especially with two kids here. So we're still involved with the state and pay attention to what's going on here, and root for the state all the time.
Stan, Vince Goodwill from Yahoo Sports. You mentioned the connection that you have, not only just with this area, but I'm sure in the Florida area as well. How long does that regret stick with you after you leave a job? Even if, whether you stay in the area for a while or not, just how long does that stay with you before or while you're moving on to your next situation?
You know what? I'll have to let you know. You know, because look, I think I'll always have it a little bit. I didn't have it. I didn't have the regret in Miami or Orlando. I mean, you know, but here with more responsibility and stuff, and I'm not overwhelmed by the regret. I mean, you know, we busted our asses here. I worked with good people. I thought we did some good things, you know, not asking people to give credit. I don't want to ignite the fan base and stuff, like killing me just because I said that, but we did some good things here and changed some things for the better, but we made some mistakes and overall didn't get the job done, and, you know, didn't win enough fast enough. And like I said, because of my respect for the ownership group and the people that I worked with and the fans here, yeah, I mean, I wish we would have done better. It's not overwhelming my life, but I think when I look back on Detroit, no matter how many years down the road, you know, I'll always regret that it didn't go better.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate that.
All right.